Stampers and Crafters. This is Kevon from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. And today is Wednesday, which means it's a sketch day. And on this fabulous sketch day, we also are doing a technique. And the technique is called a dryer sheet. So I'm going to work with you today on how to do your dryer sheet technique. But before we get started with that, this is a sketch that we are using. Yes, this is my own sketch. I just kind of whipped it up, and I hope that you like it. All the measurements are at the bottom, or you can also find this sketch on my blog, which is www.ktstamps.com. So this is our first dryer sheet, and it is just so beautiful. I use the poinsettias to really give it a little bit of a glow. Now, I use Cherry Cobbler. This is some Mossy Meadow, some basic white, and down here is some crumb cake. Now, you're going to need to have a dryer sheet, and I always cut mine in half, and you want to use them where they're very pliable. When you first get brand new used ones, they have this wax on them that really makes it hard. One, for sticking, and two, for, it leaves like this. It isn't iridescent like this. It is something that is really hard to see through, kind of almost like a milky color. And it's really hard to work with. And when you smell it, everything smells like whatever, dryer sheet you use. I use Downy. I use Bounce. All right, so that just gives you a little idea. So everything we have today, we have with a dryer sheet. So this is the first card that we are going to create today. And the sentiment that I am using is, you're a true blessing. Now again, not everybody believes in, the Christmas holidays. They have their own lots of different holidays. And I just wanted to create some cards that just gave you an example of everything doesn't always have to have happy holidays or Merry Christmas or, whatever else you would like to have. Mine is just something that I'm just using the plants on this one. And again, just wishing you well. The others, all the stamp sets that I am using come from the retired Merriest Moments. Love this stamp set. It has always been one of my favorite. We are using the big and the small poinsettia. We are also using one of the leaves. Well, I lie. We're using two leaves. One of the big ones, one of the medium size. And then we are also using this little spray of greens. We're using this little dot for the middle of the poinsettias. And then we are also using this little spray of color. Now, I forgot my block, so I'll be right back. And I hope I have everything. These are the Stampin' Up blocks. They're fabulous. It gives you an idea that on one side you have the Stampin' Up, and on the other side, you can barely see the C, you have what block it is. And so I have C and D, and I also have, this is a retired one, and it is an A, and this is a B. So those are all the stamp sets that I am using. as I get everything out, I am just putting them on the block. So then we have everything that you will need on the block. And some of our blocks will need to share. You do not want to have your this is, I'm going to share, put one on one side, one on the other, and then you just have the sprayer dot of color. So I think that is everything that I need. I have stamped my envelope. So this gives me just a nice envelope that I've stamped. I've used this beautiful sheer and satin ribbon, and it is Cherry Cobbler in gold. Love that. It's absolutely beautiful. Colors I am using as far as ink goes is the Crumb Cake, the Cherry Cobbler, the Crushed Curry, and yes, the Cherry Cobbler and the Mossy Meadow. So I'm using that. And for the sentiment, I am using the Retired Double Oval. Small oval on the bottom, and on the top it is a scallop oval. Love them. Really hard letting that one go. And for this card, and I think for the next card, I found some, it's called Anywhere Glue. Stampin' Up used to sell this a long time ago, but you do want to have a glue stick to get, to ink up your stamp set afterwards, so then you can apply the dryer sheet. All right, so that's what we're going to be working on right now. So let me grab everything that I need. We'll also use the added embossing, or the embossing edition. And we are also using some of the Dazzling diamonds, which is also a retired glitter. And we're going to put that on the front for a little bit of bling. Now, I have one more thing that I'm looking for. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can also bring in a box. I put some wax paper on the bottom. And you can also do spray adhesive. I have a sensitive person in the house that I live with, and this really causes their eyes to get on fire, and they have dry eye the syndrome right now, so they are really having a hard time when I spray this. So I'm not going to spray this today, but you can spray this on the sheet as it sits in the bottom. Take it out. You're going to turn it over where the adhesive is, and that's what you're going to apply to the cardstock. So if you were to use the spray adhesive, that's what you would do. But I have a hard time using it outside and then having to run inside to glue it down. So I'm not going to do that today. All right, I'm bringing in everything that we need. I also have some iridescent pearls and basic jewels, so I'm using that on the front of the card. I have my inside already stamped, and I just stamped one, stamped two, and then decided to stamp off. And this little area right here is because I stamped off on this side, or I stamped on that side. So we're just going to take this, and we are going to get started on putting everything together. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I've stamped all these. So I am just going to do a friendly stamp or a friendly adhering, which just means you put everything in the corner. And at the corner, it just means that they can take this off and add their own sheet once they have written on it or received it. And as you can see, if you need to do that, it's going to come off pretty easy. All right, so that's it. You just put a little in the corners and one little one in the middle. Excuse me. So now we're going to work on the outside part of our card. We have both of these. Again, the directions are either on the sheet or they're on my blog. This is again just the front of the envelope, so you have that. We are going to take this and this, and we are just going to start stamping. And I would suggest that when you are stamping, you have everything out that you need. So I'd have my envelopes, my insert, and my focal layer. And then once you stamp one, then you can stamp the inside, and then you can stamp the envelope, and then go back with the small here. Okay, and that will just keep everything available for you to stamp. And instead of doing what I did, oh, I forgot to do the envelope. Oh, I forgot to do the insert. So this will help you with everything. Let me move all this out of the way. So we're just going to, sorry. Oh, golly. Thank God today I brought, because on the next one I have stuff. But thank goodness that I have my little handy wipes. Otherwise, I would have this stuff all over the place. All right, here we go. So the first thing that I did is that I just stamped up high on the card. And I did the exact same thing. Last time, I turned it over because I want everything to adhere. Otherwise, I may have to cut it again. So there's one. I'm going to stamp 3 of these. 2. And there is 3. Okay, so we have that one done. And I don't think I brought over my... Okay. I'll just wipe this off. Okay, so we are done with the first one. Now the little one. I like to work in odd numbers, so I have 7 on here, 7 poinsettias on here. And we're just going to wrap this up. Put that away. And now let's go ahead and go with the insides of our, I'm going to take this little one off. So now we're going to go to the insides of everything. And you know, this foam piece that I have, piercing pad that I have, it's really nice because it lets you have a little bit of give, and it will also prevent stuff like this happening. So it has enough give that you will you will not have to worry about your blotchiness or not getting something stamped well. So we're going to go now with our Mossy Meadow. And our Mossy Meadow, we are just going to, I'm just doing a couple of these. And turning it so then it isn't always the same side that's coming up. And now, oh, I got one more thing that I have to get out too. And with the photopolymer stamps, you can also see where you are stamping. And that will help you out on what you need. And I have, or where you are seeing things. So I'm sorry, I have to get out one more. I have to get out one more of these so I can. I had to get out the little spray of leaves. Okay, again, working in odd numbers. And then I have my last color that I'm going to use, and that is the Crumb Cake. And this is like baby's breath to me. Just kind of gives you that little filler, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And it just gives it a look of fun and everything is done nicely. So it's kind of like your eyes travel with that. All right, so that's what we have as far as this goes. All right, so now we're going to give that just a minute while I take this, and I'm just going to add my dimensionals to the back. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to give this just a little bit longer for all the ink to dry. Because sometimes when you use the glue stick, you will find that it kind of causes it to, what do I want to say, leak just a little bit to the ink will run just a little bit. And so with that, I am just letting it dry. But we're going to bring it back out. We're going to find our, there we are. We're going to find our dryer sheet. And what we're going to do, first of all, is that we're just going to cut just a little bit off around the edges. So I don't want a whole bunch, but I don't want to just cut it even with the cardstock, because what I found is that when it is even, if a corner comes up, then the whole dryer sheet comes off. So you want to make sure that you just cut it a little bit wider than what you're going to use. All right, so now we're going to take our glue stick, and all we're going to do is make sure that you get the corners really well, and you're just going to rub. And you can see how it's kind of spreading while I'm doing this, so you just really want to be careful of that. Okay? And again, get your edges nice and glued. So now you can see that it has, we just have some edges where we got some smearing that's going on. It's going to happen all the time. Just know that you're okay. I'm going to take this now, use some of my green glue, or my Tombow, and I'm going to put this down. Now it may take a minute or two to get this to stay, so you really just have to be patient with this. And I'm going to be right back. And then the bottom piece, well, let's do the sides first. And this is the part that takes the longest. And then what you want to do is that you just want to cut a diagonal in the corners so there isn't a lot of layers to put down when you bring the top part down. Yikes. And this is the hardest part, and it is the part that your fingers will get sticky. But it still has such a good effect, especially on Christmas cards. Okay, so now I have that down. I'm going to bring in my crumb cake and place it on there. And then sometimes you may have to get out your tweezers and pick some of the hairs that are kind of hanging around. I don't know if you can see the hairs, sides. Just to make sure. And then magic happens right here. We're going to bring in our Dazzling diamonds. Put this on the bottom, and we are going to sprinkle some Dazzling diamonds on the top. And can you see the shine? I should have showed you that before. Wow, it's beautiful. I love that. I love how this looks. Oh, it's just so pretty. So now I am just going to get rid of all of this. And take this. Yes, you will have glitter all over the place. For those of us who love glitter, it's okay. I like glitter. But for those of you who don't, this may be a little bit hard for you. And you can use any type of glitter you want. Something that needs to be a little bit iridescent. And before I put that on, I'm going to bring in some glue dots and just hook this ribbon on the back of my card. Put a glue dot on each end. And I want this to be a focal point. So I'm just going to add that onto the card. Where are you? This one is on here. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to let my cat out. And this glue dot needs to be right here. I'm going to tuck this underneath and place it down right here. So now I have that ready. And then I'm going to get this out of the way. And then I'm going to put this on the front of the card. And you just try to make sure that it is even as much as you can all the way around. Come on, baby. There we go. And I have this all done, and I'm adding 2 more dimensionals to this because I want to make sure that it stays on. You'll find that not a lot of things stick to the dryer sheet. So sometimes some glue. These will be once you press them into. There you go. It's coming together and looking beautiful. And then I have a couple of these to put on. Now the 2 are going to fit on the sentiment really well of these pearls. Now the next one, what I'm going to do is bring out this, and I want to make sure that I want to have just a dot on here to add with my and I'm just going to add 3 more. And I just needed a little more glue on this because they're coming off on the other one. And I want to make sure that they stay. As you can see. And here's one more. And I have one more up here that I'm going to glue down. And our first card is complete. Woohoo! Let me get that out of the way so you can see everything. Come on. Come on. Here you go, babe. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. There we go. All right, cat out of here. Whoop, whoop. That's the best part. So if you need to take your pictures, go ahead and do so. And I am just going to put this back together. Now, one thing that I want to go over with you guys, because a lot of times you don't always know how to put this back together, put most of your stamps back on. But if you take your stamps and you put them on, and these are for photopolymer only, put them on, the words are on where they belong. And then all you have to do is take your stamps and put them back where you found them. And you just match them up. They don't have to be perfect, but you know where to put these stamps and where they belong, so you feel like you have all your stamps coming back. And then when you look at the very end, you'll know whether you have all your stamps or not. And then you just put the top down, close it up, and you're ready to go. All right? And this is really nice because this has framelits, and it also has a embossing folder that goes with it. Love this set. All right, so we are now done with our first card. Whoop, whoop. All right, the second card looks a little different, but again, it's still the dryer sheet, and I love these colors together. This is Shaded Spruce. This is Shamrock, and then I have the white underneath it. This is Shaded Spruce. These little dots are from the I think it's 2004, 2000 through 2006, and they're the Shimmer gems, I think. Shimmer gems. And I just used the Shamrocks. Then I also have, on this I'm using, and this is the Unbounded, again, from the same place that we got the You're a True Blessing Unbound stamp set. I don't think I have anything in the middle. And then I used on the inside, I used the big trees and the little trees. And then I am using, again, the mask. And they're the Frosted Forest Decorative masks. They're fabulous. I love them so much. Love, love, love them. So we're going to get ourselves started. And again, this one is a little bit harder to see. I sprayed it, and I think a lot of this dryer sheet, I could have used it one more time. I took a whole bunch of dryer sheets hoping that I could use them up, but obviously I have not done a very good job with them. Bringing back out my Stamparatas. And let's try this. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use a new one. All right, and then I also, this is the Shaded Spruce Satin and sheer ribbon, so we're using that. I am also using, and maybe that's where I am using the Nope. The Love came, the Unbound. Yeah, the Unbound I used this die for the Love. And the Love is stamped in Shaded Spruce. All right, everything that we need, with the exception of the card that goes on the inside. All right, so we are going to get ourselves started. And again, the first thing I'm going to do is just put this down, and some glue is on this, so I may not need to have much to stick it down. But this is wall tape, and all I'm going to do is just add the wall tape at the top. This part was done with the last one. I happened to stick it in the Shaded Spruce, so I'm going to put it way up high so I can't get anything in yet. And I like this better than I like the washi tape. All right, from here now, all of this is going to be a little bit of a guess. These have the ABC, and you just follow the ABC. And what I'm going to do is down in the corner, I don't know if you can see, there is a nice little V. So I'm going to line the card up where I want it. And then down in the corner, I'm going to add a V. I'm just going to put a pencil mark there. And then I'm taking my, there we are, my magnets, and I'm putting it on these. All right, I'm also getting out my mini blending brushes. I also have my palette knives and my frosty or shimmery white embossing paste. So that's also coming out. And then I lie. I already have this done, and I have my envelopes done. So I'm going to put these right over here so you can't see that big old glare that's coming my way. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our lightest color, which is the Shy Shamrock. And I am just going to use it and it doesn't have to be dark. It can be darker in some places and some not as dark. Okay, because you also have the Shaded Spruce coming in your way. And then we are just going to take this, I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. We're going to bring it down and have this on here. Now this one's going to hang over and it's going to hang in the middle, and you're going to want to have your hand down here just to help it out. That's all I'm going to do. So from here, I'm just going to take that off. There you go. Looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love this stuff, and I'm just taking my wipe and getting rid of the ink. So I'm just trying to keep it moving so I can take the ink all off. All right, so now we're going to get folder number, or folder B out. And this we're going to line up with that V. and stick it down. We're going to put this to the side, and then we are bringing in our shaded spruce. Okay, not going to do much on that. Then I'm going to line this next one up. Now I'm guessing at this. I think I want to do... I looked at this and I didn't have enough on here. There we go. That's better. And then we're going to take the little one and we're going to line it up. Now, how do I know? Honestly, I'm just kind of guessing. And this one's going to start down a little bit lower than the bigger one. And some of this is coming out on the paper. And I'm just going to check it underneath. And all I'm doing is seeing if you can see the difference between both of them. And yes, you can. Isn't that looking nice? Oh, I just love this. And then I'm going to just take this and wipe this down. And then I got to have everything ready for my next one because it is all about the palette knives and the paste. And it gets all over everything. And I tell you, you want to get that wiped off. I use Downy to wipe it off because it is really hard. I thought I did a really good job of wiping it all down yesterday, and I noticed that I still have stuff from yesterday on it. Okay, here's number C now. And then you're just going to put just a little bit of paste. And I like keeping mine in the package because it seems like it lasts just a little bit longer. I'm going to close this up. Get it out of the way before I do anything. This is the green. I didn't do that on the first one, but I really want to make sure that I get a little bit of coloring on the outside. I just like how that looks. Put this out of the way, and now we are going to bring out our knives. And this time I am going to use what is like the spatula. And you want to put as little as possible on this because you are going to have to do another one. So you want to make sure that it lays as flat as it can. And my extra, I'm just putting inside the paste container. Oh, it looks so beautiful. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but it is absolutely beautiful. Now this one you are going to have to hold on to because I am putting this over here. So then I can put this down, but it's not going to stick to this tree on the other side. So it is like lifted up and I have the magnets underneath it. There we go. Just using finger pressure to bring it down. And then just kind of pop it up. And it's just so beautiful. I wish I would have brought it down just a little bit more. But now I'm going to stop everything. Put this down. Put this on top. I'm going to wipe this off. It's just with a baby wipe, and then I will bring it out with some Dawn once I start to wash it. And all I'm trying to do is take as much off as I can, so that it doesn't stick. And you can see that I have some over on the sides, but I just tried to get it off as best as I could. All right, and we're just going to have that hang out just for a minute. See if we can get it to dry. Put this back in its pallets pack. Bring that out. Again, stamp with the big frosted forest, then stamp off on the side. Stamp on with the shy shamrock. Stamp off again. So it just gives you like you're looking at a lot of trees. And again, I am going to do the friendship. And I'll show you what that looks like once I'm done. Hopefully you'll be able to see. Can you see that I don't have very much tape on here? Very little. And that's all I'm doing for the inside. So somebody, if you want to recycle this, you just tear off the inside and then you put your own trees and sentiment in it. And it's easy to do that. All right, so we are just kind of hanging out for just a minute. And I'm just going to see if that's done just a little bit. I had some crumb cake that I was using, and you know, I don't think I really want to use it on here. I think I like this just being a little bit white. I'm going to add some color with shy Shamrock, and I'm just gently, this is the excess, I'm just gently wiping over with this. And I have some at the bottom, so I'm just trying to use the bottom just to and oh, you can see the colors. Yeah, so I'm just doing that. I'm going to take this out, put these away, and now I'm going to glue again and get this ready. With my dryer sheet. I love this. I love this. It looks so beautiful on Christmas cards, on holiday cards. I love it. So there's that. So you can at least see, moving all of this out of the way. And now we're just going to take some of our glue stick. Make sure that you have the edges. That's where it's all going to be. And you can see how the glue is all over the place. The glue stick, I should say. And I'm just going to cut after I get this on. Sorry, I have a hair on this. I want to get that out there. This one I'm just going to add the glue on the bottom. And I'm going to cut. As you can see, I'm not a very good cutter at all. My scissor skills are not very good. All right, so from here, there is that piece of hair. This is what happens with the dryer sheet, with glue. All right, and now I'm just going to start this one this time at the top. And you really want to try to pull it all in so then it stays tight on here. And then we are just going to take our scissors and cut the corners, bevel them, as they may be called. So then it lays flatter. And then we're going to bring that in to the inside. And the same over here on this side. Bring it in. It looks like I have some glue I need to stick over here in the corner and over here in the corner because it's not laying down. I like this better than this one. And this is without the glitter on it. So now let's add some glitter to it. Let's put this on here first. I'm putting it on my Shamrock. All right, and here comes the magic. Sometimes you may have to go in and get some of the sticky things off it. Do a little bit of doctoring. And I'm just snapping it so it's off. Do you see it sparkle? Yeah, there's the sparkle. I don't think you can see it as much, but there's also sparkle underneath the tree coming out on the dryer sheet. And again, these dryer sheets have been used. And I made sure that I used them a couple of times. And now we are just going to scrape, and this is also what you do with your embossing powder. Scrape this towards the bottom. Get this out of the way. Our Dazzling diamonds. There you go. They have a little white to them, but a little bit of silver would be great on this. So whatever you have that's available. Some of the glitter can be a little bit darker. You don't really want the darker glitter. You want the lighter glitter. And it's just going out the hole, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. I should have had paper underneath. And I will rinse this out. And I'm getting that out of the way because I know me. I love glitter, and it is all over the place. All over the place. And I'm working out later on, and so I'm going to have a little bit of glitter on myself. Love that. Okay, getting that out of the way. Oh, come on, you need to stay underneath her, baby. Now this is not staying down very well in the corner, and so all I'm going to do is grab a little bit of Tombow and place it down. Thank you for being with me today. I love making Christmas cards or holiday cards. I love doing that for you. I love it when you leave me nice little comments. Subscribe to YouTube. When you show me your card from this design on my Facebook page, you just add it in the comment section. Love that. You tell me what you think. Again, I really enjoy making cards for you. All right, so we're going to get this out of the way. And then we can decorate the front. And then we are done with our second card. Whoop, whoop. Love doing that. This is Hump Day Sketches, and it happens every week on Wednesday. I have different times that I show up. I'm not very good at one single time. Sorry about that. And I love making cards. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's my little hobby. And I get to do it now more than ever because I get to be, or I am retired. Whoop, whoop. Love that too. Now let me see. Nope, I didn't have one. I also on Thursdays, I have Throw the Dice Thursday. So if you just want to hang out again, please feel free to do that with me on Thursdays. And I throw dice, crafting dice, and I try to create fun little projects with that. So now we are going to take our ribbon and we're just going to fold over each other. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut down. Then I am going to grab myself a glue dot and I'm going to put one in the back and then one in the front. so it will hold my ribbon. So I'm going to put that down there. Then add my sentiment. And there's my card. So these two look different. I used a lot more ink in the back than I did on this one. I really like this. Whew. All right, so now I have one more thing that I need to do to finish up. These gems are sticking on this better than the little pearls did. So I am just going to get out my tweezers. And I'm going to get a, whoops, big one, and I'm putting it right by the L. There we go. Right by the love. And then all I'm doing is adding a few more smaller. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big one. That's not a big one. And a big one. There you go. So that's what my card looks like. It's really hard for you to see these cute little gems, but when you're holding it on your own, really easy to see them. And again, that's our envelope. That goes inside. Well, what do you think, you guys? I'll bring those all back in just a minute. So let me get all these out of the way. Again, these do track all over the place. So that is one of the cards. And this is the other card. So those are our cards that we did today. And I have to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for stamping with me today, with putting up with me, with allowing me to think outside the boxes. And again, this is exactly what I love doing. It's my favorite thing, and it's my favorite time to spend with you guys. So have a happy, happy day. I hope that I can wish really good things upon you today. And thank you again. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.